What's going on YouTube? This is Rybo back at the bench, and today I have another cut or carry watch review, and this time we are looking at the Seiko PADI Monster. So this is, I think, the SRPE27, and this is a very interesting monster for a couple of reasons. So first of all, this is the first PADI monster. So Seiko has done some PADI watches for a lot of their watches. They've done PADI versions. They're always this blue and red combination, but this is the first monster. This is also, I think, the first monster that has this kind of candy bar style magnifier right there. So it's not a traditional Cyclops. It's actually a day-date magnifier, and those are super controversial, and for good reason, because I think they're kind of ugly. But and then this is also interesting because this is kind of a semi-monster where you have one of the monster teeth there. You have this kind of classic monster bezel, although it is different because it is a different color than the steel case here. And it's all one color. So a lot of the PADI versions, they'll do like a Pepsi bezel or something like that. That wouldn't really make sense on a monster. So this is all one color. It's that blue color, which is really interesting. And then it's different from the case. So a weird mashup of a monster in a lot of ways. And so pretty interesting watch. All right. So these are going, I think, around $450, something like that. They're a little bit, not difficult to get, but definitely one of the kind of higher dollar divers, maybe in Seiko's lineup. Not really. That's not true. Like, not the Captain Willard or something like that. But anyway. All right. So let's talk about things. Actually, no. Let's do a quick size comparison really quick. I do not have the original bracelet that came on this. This watch, I should say, was loaned in by my buddy Russ. Sorry for the hiccup there. I think something on my camera just, I don't know. Anyway, this was loaned in by my buddy Russ, and so I do not have the bracelet, so I've just been wearing it on a NATO 20 millimeter, by the way. It kind of surprised me. I expected this to be a 22. I'm actually kind of pleasantly surprised it was a 20. Let me do quick size comparison. I'm just going to bring out the SKX so you can get an idea. It's actually very similar in size with the SKX. And then I'll throw in the SRP Turtle. This is the Blue Lagoon. Ooh, love it. Not going anywhere. But you can see it's actually a lot closer, I think, to the SKX than it is to the Turtle. So, you know, it looks like a big watch until you put it up against something else. And then I think it's pretty reasonably sized. I'll go ahead and show it on the wrist too. I'm not going to go ahead and put the NATO on, but just so you get an idea. I have fairly small wrists. It's been a while since I measured, somewhere 6 3/4 to 7 inches. And I think that wears really, really nicely, especially for a dive watch. Probably a little bit chunkier with a bracelet on, but honestly, there's two layers of NATO under there, and that's not wearing that high off the wrist. So I think a very, very nicely sized dive watch. All right, let's get into things that I like and dislike. Things that I like, the size. I think that the size is excellent for a dive watch. I think it's really awesome. I like the blue color of the bezel. I have some issues later I'll talk about, but I think that is a beautiful blue color and really understated. And so this is a crazy looking watch. It's a mashup of like different things. You have a lot going on and you have multiple colors. And I think the result of that could be a really ugly watch. I think that this is actually fairly understated and kind of flies below the radar a little bit. And so that's pretty cool that they were able to pull that off. I like a lot of the monster accents. I love the indices on this watch. I love the bar style indices. I love the depth of that dial. I really like the monster tooth up here. I think that is really, really nice. And I love the handset. So this is I think the same handset that's on the Samurai, which I did not love on the Samurai, but I really, really like it here. I think it really fits the aesthetic here. Love the arrowed second hand there. Love the fact that it's red and it kind of ties in. All of that I think is really awesome, and I like quite a bit. I really like this shroud as well. So you have kind of this half shroud up here at the lugs on the top, and then you've got a little bit more over here where it actually extends to be not really a crown guard, but I guess kind of a crown guard. It does give you somewhat limited access to the bezel. You can still turn it from these points up here, and I guess I should be a little bit closer. but definitely going to want to turn it here. So I think it gives you ample access to the bezel, much better than like the baby tuna, where it doesn't give you the full access here. I think it's plenty. You have these little scallops here to catch on to, so that's awesome. So no complaints there. Drilled lugs, awesome. You know, that's great. Love that. And I love that it's 20 millimeter, honestly. That was unexpected and kind of cool to find on a watch like this. All right, things that I dislike about the PADI Monster. Trying to figure out how to say this. I don't like how it looks. And I just complimented a lot of individual things about it, and how understated it was, and the colors and all this stuff. I love lots of different aspects of it. I do not like how it comes together. I specifically really dislike the two-tone here with the blue bezel and the stainless case. I really dislike that. I can't get past that. I can't get past that from the moment I pulled this watch out and put it on the wrist. Just, it's not for me. I love the blue color. I love the kind of iridescence of that blue. I really like all of that. I just don't love it together. I like the red, honestly, and the blue. I think work really well. I just cannot get past the two-tone there. It's just not my thing. Secondly, and probably lastly, I do not like the candy bar or the big bar magnifier here. It functionally is excellent, and it's kind of cool when you can see like the hands go through there. But it breaks up, and I mean, you would almost say it shouldn't break up the symmetry of the dial, because you have a bar over here, a bar over here. It really breaks it up for me. It throws everything off. I would prefer a single date with a Cyclops than this. I would much prefer just a flat crystal. I think it complicates things in a number of different ways, but most importantly, for a watch like this, I think it just messes with the dial. Every time I look down, that's the first thing I see. Plus, it kind of collects gunk a little bit. I don't know if you can see. Maybe you can't see, and I probably cleaned it out a little bit, but you can see a little bit. It kind of collects gunk down in there. It's just another thing you have to maintain. So I'm kind of nitpicking here, but I am not a fan of the that bar style magnifier, and I knew that pretty much from the first time I saw it when it was released, that it wasn't going to be for me. But seeing it in person really kind of drove that home. So. Not a super long review here. I've kind of known what I think about this, you know, without wearing it too much. I did get to wear this. I think it's a really cool watch. I love the size. I'm really in love with the size of this watch. I think it's a really excellent size, but aesthetically, it just doesn't do it for me. So this is going to be a cut for me. I still, you know, I think it's a cool watch. I think on a bracelet, I'd probably like it a little bit more because maybe there's just too much going on with like the NATO here and stuff. But at the end of the day, for me, this is going to be a cut. Hope you have enjoyed this review, and I'll see you next time.